Good afternoon, lovely people. How are you all? I hope you're well. Welcome to October. It's so hard to believe that today is the beginning of October because it's been another beautifully warm and sunny day. Oh, the sun's just gone behind some clouds for now. But it's been gorgeous. Really can't get my head around it being October already. And actually I've seen a couple of friends down here and they're all kind of saying, how is it October? Firstly, how is it October already? We're behind. But also just because it's so warm. Yeah, I think it feels like it's upon us suddenly because September was so beautiful. September actually felt like summer. So suddenly there's a feeling amongst folk of a little bit of urgency to now get things done in the next few weeks to prepare for winter. So I'm going to take you down the garden and see where we're at, and boy oh boy does it look different from the beginning of September. But just before we go, I want to show you this. My lovely neighbour, the one who brought to me or gave to me the little grey chairs outside my shed, surprised me the other morning. Oh, let's show you from the other side in the sunshine. Yeah, she surprised me by leaving me, just making me around all the poles, this lovely bunch of dahlias. Isn't that gorgeous? What a beautiful splash of colour at the beginning of October. So thank you very much to her. Absolutely lovely. What a gorgeous surprise. I'm very fortunate to have such lovely neighbours. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the garden. I've been down a couple of hours, not really doing much today because just feeling like having a nice easy day. So mostly just cutting back some invading brambles and just enjoying being out here in this beautiful weather, doing a bit of an assessment of where the garden's at the moment in order to then crack into things because there's a lot to do. Anyway, let's just have a start. There's my neighbour Catherine. You all right, Catherine? Yep, having a wash in the dip tank.
Tomato when I was picking it all over me.
We were actually just saying that we can't believe we're still picking tomatoes at the beginning of October. What is all that about?
Over there.
I can't even see if you're in. It's so bright. You've got strawberries still.
Strawberries.
It's just nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll show you my strawberries. Not my strawberries, my tomatoes in a second, because unheard of on our site to have tomatoes at this time of year. But here we are in the top bed. Look, the flowers are going great guns still. I am deadheading because I do want to keep them going, and the cosmos will. Oh, they'll go up to Christmas if I keep deadheading. I need to start not deadheading some of them though, because I want to start saving some seed. Look at this verbena, it doesn't know when to give up. The verbena, even when it is over, I'll leave it up because, I can't remember which one of the birds, but one of the birds really likes the verbena seed. So, at this time of year, don't be in a hurry to cut everything down and cover your whole plot with plastic. No! Some of these seed heads are great for our wildlife. Plus, just leaving the plants in, it's a bit of habitat for them, isn't it? So yeah, don't be in a hurry to have a massive big clear up. Now then, the winter bed. Yay! The cabbages are getting massive in there. Can you see the proper squashing against the sides? What I'll do in about another month, depends a bit, I think this warmth has tricked the butterflies, but normally by end of October I take off all my nets because the butterflies have kind of disappeared by then. These nets really need to come off. They are bulging at this. Look how they're bulging out. That's all my January king, and there will be some in there ready to harvest very soon. Not necessarily as sort of really tight heads of cabbage, but I'll have them out at this stage, alternate ones, just for their sort of big, gorgeous, floppy leaves. And by having out alternate ones, then the ones that stay in, they've got more space to grow. The perseverance bed, I think that's what I'm going to call it this year. The perseverance bed has carrots in it. Woohoo! So I had my first couple out the other day, as you saw. They weren't massive, but then I ended up being given seed, and I don't think it was Autumn King, so I don't think it's a particularly large variety. Doesn't matter, I don't care. I'm happy that I've got carrots. And the leeks are, they're not looking great. There's quite a bit of rust on them. I've actually never had leek rust before. So yeah, I've removed the worst of the leaves and I will burn them. They don't go in the compost. Happy cosmos. And these are looking great. Look at the Cavallo Nero. These only went in about, is it 5-6 weeks ago? And there's masses to harvest already, which is great because I love my winter veg and my mind is turning that way and I can't wait to get my nashes around them. And then next to them are all the Brussels sprouts. These are Groninger. So again, when these nets come off in about sort of 4 weeks or so, what I'll do is I'm going to raid the burn pile and get some more sort of stout sticks, and then I'll stake all these sprouts because they are really prone to windrock. They're obviously top heavy anyway. I've never really had, I think I've tried twice with sprouts before and never really had much success. So this is if at first you don't succeed, try again. Or in my case, if at first you don't succeed, and if the second time you don't succeed, don't give up, have another go. Because if I get some sprouts for Crimbo, I'm going to be a happy girl. And even if it's not for Christmas, even if it's for, I don't know, February, I'll be chuffed to bits. Poor old flint corn. I don't think it liked the drought this summer. Look, it's so dinky tiny. But, you know, there's cobs on there, so I am going to have some corn to pop and some corn to mill, just probably nowhere near as much as last year. And oh my goodness, hang on a sec. Catherine's just harvesting. Catherine's harvesting her trombies. Oh my goody goodness, look at the size of them.
They're really heavy.
So you see, you gave them more space this year, didn't you? So they could grow long and... Right, lie on the floor, please.
What, here?
Yeah, how tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
That's a
There's
whopper.
another one, but it's still a bit green.
They're beautiful. And the thing about them is, obviously, that whole neck is flesh. Obviously, your seeds are in the bottom here, so that's a lot of flesh. You know what? That's going to be, flesh-wise, the equivalent of like 2 or 3 butternuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how do they store? You've had them before, haven't you?
I have had them before. I didn't have them long enough last time.
What, to store? You just ate them? They look fab.
The little one's green.
Let's come and have a look at where you had them, because I think the key to getting them to this good size and so healthy is making sure they've got some space to hang. So I've watched these grow over the summer and they've been fantastic. But yes, so archway, climbing, and look at that one.
Yeah.
That looks great. It's like a massive pendulum, isn't it? Well, let's not say what it's like. Oh, well done. So 5 from... No, you've had a couple off already, haven't you?
I've been eating the little ones green, like courgettes, and then the ones that were high.
And how many plants did you have?
3.
That's
one on each arm.
That's a really good return. So you've got 2 stonking massive ones, plus you've had little tiddly baby green ones off them as well.
I don't think I'll bother with courgettes next year. I think I'll just grow these. They're much easier than
That's
courgettes.
fab, and it's rather beautiful, isn't it? Right, back to my shoddy veg. Well, actually, the squash bed isn't too shoddy, but the flint corn is... Look at them, aren't they fantastic? It looks like a set of musical instruments that all each have a different note. Maybe you should hollow them out and put some fingering holes down them. And
kind of
there is a vegetable orchestra in London, isn't there?
Yeah.
Obviously there is. Well done, they are gorgeous. How are you going to get them home?
I've got a trolley.
Oh. we all have our granny trolleys. Oh, aren't they fab? I might have to do some of those next year myself. Anyway, so there we go. That's the flint corn. The lovely little peppers. Some of them are still quite yellow, but they are coming out in the next couple of days because our nights are definitely getting cooler, and I don't want to risk losing them to frost. The celeriac is all looking lush and happy. Still pretty small. I can't grow a big celeriac, but never mind. They're small but beautiful, and again, it's one of those winter veg I just love to scoff. So, can't wait to have my first one out. The celery's still going on. So, you saw last week I had that first bunch out for the beetroot, and it was really potent. So, pretty skinny, but potent. I was perfectly happy with it. Having said that, I do think next year I'm going to go back to the green Utah. I know it, I like it. This was great, a fantastic gift from Kay when I had nothing, and I've really appreciated it, but I think I prefer the green Utah. And now, the sun's getting so low, it's going to be right in our eyes. Let me come the other way. The vine bed. Now this bed, although it's taken a lot of care this year in terms of watering, my goodness, hours and hours and hours of watering, this bed I think has absolutely loved our hot summer. Astonishingly, look at all those tomatoes still. Catherine and I were just saying that we never have tomatoes in October. I mean, if at the beginning of September we still have plants that have escaped blight, we're lucky. So yes, still loads to harvest, but again, that's another plant that they're going to come completely out in the next few days. Any that aren't ripe I'll set aside to see if I can ripen them, but they're coming out. And also this week the squash harvest is going to happen. Oh, it's so exciting. And I'm also going to have out any remaining peppers. There's some, they want to ripen, but there's a lovely couple in there. I need this bed now. This is going to be broad beans. So I need to get my broad beans in the next couple of weeks. So get this bed cleared, get some compost added in and some chicken manure. I actually need to, let me show you from this angle. You know, I was saying about putting my 5 little beds in. At the moment this is only this wide and it needs to be this wide. So once it's cleared, I'll also, what was the path this year, I'll need to dig that over a bit because it will be a bit compacted. But then that will be one of my first new perma beds. Woohoo! I think it's going to make a huge difference to my gardening life and my gardening time and my gardening needs. But yeah, this bed has done absolutely wonderfully this year. Afternoon, Vivi's shadow. Absolutely fabulous. Once this is cleared, so like I say, this week the whole bed will be cleared, then I'm going to divide it into the 5 new beds, lay some paths with cardboard, and then each bed will get either green manure or leaves or some sort of combination. But apart from the broad beans down here at the front, there'll be nothing in this bed over winter. So I need to make sure each bed is covered with something to protect the soil, keep a living environment going, replenish, nourish, whatever the soil, and hopefully give me something to help break up my clay soil. Yay! Now, bean arches are down. Oh look, my pebble labels are all scattered. I've been going around beginning to gather up my pebble labels. So now that they're down, you can actually see just how much space they created for me this year by having them next to the paths. This whole bed, this beautiful, what I called the cathedral bed, was as a result of moving all the beans. I've never had this space before. Now that the beans are out, what I will do for next year is there will be some more in here and there, just because of crop rotation. Over the winter I'm going to dig little trenches either side, and just keep filling those with kitchen scraps, garden scraps, whatever, over the whole winter, early spring, so they'll have something nice to put their feet in next year. So yes, the beds are starting to empty. Obviously the cocoa bed emptied a fair chunk of time ago, and at the moment I'm just using it as a dumping ground for compost that I don't have any space in the bin for. So again, this is another bed to get sorted over the winter. At the moment this one is too big, so this one's going to come in just this side of the tomatoes. So where the tomatoes are will be the path, which means where that path is will need a bit of a dig, because again, where I've got any of the paths this year, they will have compacted. So you can see some of the teepees have come down already. Oh, do you know what though? It suddenly makes the garden feel massive to me. Now, some of these beds will carry on over the winter and some will be empty. Some need rejigging. So it's going to be a little bit of a juggling act, because the beetroot and the chard will be staying in, but the rest will be coming out. Let's have a little closer look. The sole baby butternut that grew in this bed. There's the galler that didn't break off. Masses and masses of carnival. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Carnival! Yeah, so that bed's going to be cleared. Then this bed will have the squash harvested out of it, the teepee down, but the chard will stay. And then this bed, squash harvested, teepee down, and it's going to look very bare after that, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Chuffed. So I am going to do the squash harvest this week, and I can't wait to see them all grouped together with all their beautiful colours and textures and shapes and sizes. I think it's been the thing I've been most excited about for absolutely weeks on end now. Look at the chard in this light. Isn't that gorgeous? See, we should take our little moments each day in our garden just to have these times of appreciating the colour and the beauty still. Don't fade yet. Okay, into the last veggie bed. Under the rose bush I've got the random purple sprouting broccoli. I've managed to get a good mulch in there now, because I did some mowing the other day. I need loads more though, so I think I'll do another mowing very soon. And look at this, isn't this beautiful? The rose is budding again. Aren't these buds so pretty with that little tinge of pink? Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous, delicate things. I might actually do a little bit of deadheading on the rose soon, because again, it's one that in the past when I've deadheaded, I have actually managed to have blooms right through till Christmas. Gorgeous. More purple sprouting broccoli. So I took the nets off the other day to get at this in order to, get all this mulch down. And I haven't put the nets back on because they were too small. So I'm just going to have to hope that the butterflies stay away. But actually, I didn't show you in the other bed. I had 3 experimental brassicas I popped in at the end of the Coco de Pampol bed with no protection. Not any sign of damage whatsoever. Nothing from the pigeons, nothing from the cabbage whites, not a single egg on them, no caterpillar marks, nothing. So I might just leave these nets off. Look at the fennel now going to seed. Isn't that gorgeous? That's what I mean about, don't always be in a hurry to clear everything out. Some things are going to give seed for us, seed for insects and wildlife, and well, they're just plain lovely. So yeah, they're staying in and they're acting as a bit of ground cover too. This bed is turning into a bit of a dumping ground. This there to there, it's about 2 meters. That's all my crop and drop from the last couple of days. That's fine, it's perfectly happy there. I don't need to do anything with that bed just at the moment. Oh, I forgot to say, sorry, the spuds, you can say it in the afternoon, my shadow's so long. My main crops, I'm going to have these out in the next week because I need the space for my garlic. The tops are still green, and normally, actually some of them have died back, but normally I would say don't have them out green unless you're going to use them straight away, because the skins won't have cured. Whereas for the plants that have died back, part of that process of them dying back, the skins just toughen up and make them better for storage. So when I do have them out, I'm going to sort of divide them into green tops and brown tops, knowing that the brown tops should store a bit longer, and make sure that the green top ones are the ones I use first. So, yep, another job to get done this week. It's a lot to do, but it's great. Still tomatoes on the... This is bonkers. I literally picked, today's Monday, I picked on Saturday. I did a big pick on Saturday. So, yep, the rest of those are coming out. I'm still deadheading the calendula because they're still giving me such a gorgeous display. I've saved masses and masses of seed, so I don't need to save any more seed, and I've got masses and masses of petals dried and stored for my balms and things next year, so now I can relax a bit and just enjoy them. Ooh, sun went in for a minute. Yeah, I can just enjoy the splash of colour, and then when they really, really, really are looking decrepit, I'll just have them out and they can join that mound of compost. Oh, and in the wheelbarrow at the moment, I haven't quite got round to, that's the last of my second sowings of Rock and Core dwarf beans I was leaving for seed saving. Talking of seed saving, I am in the process of making a video on seed saving, which I started a few days ago, but it'll be in bits and pieces as and when different things come in. But that should hopefully be out in the next few days. So yeah, the herb bed has had a bit of a tidy up. I've done some deadheading, and I've noticed that on my English lavender on this side, the bees are, well, they're pretty much leaving it alone now, so I think I can harvest my English lavender. The French lavender on this side has really been suddenly putting on another spurt, and the bees are enjoying it. So again, that's something else I'm going to leave for any of our lovely insects. Such a beautiful light at this time of day, isn't it? I know it creates havoc with shadows for filming, but it is gorgeous. Look, it's just such lovely colour everywhere still. And then this monster is still going, as I showed to you the other day. Oops, going backwards. All the geraniums on the deck I'm starting to take home because I need to overwinter them at home and get some cuttings from them. But that's not drastically important. There's no desperate hurry for that. There's far more important things to get on with. But my goodness, look at it now at the beginning of October. It suddenly looks really big again, doesn't it? So it's going to be a very busy month, harvesting, moving these beds around, adding compost, adding leaves, putting green manure in, putting the garlic and the broad beans in. Love it, love it, love it. It's all busy, 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 but it's great busy, and it's some of my favourite jobs. So I'd better put the camera down and get on with some work, hadn't I? So for now, I'm going to say, I'm going to get into my deck chair first of all. Oh, crash bang wallop. Yeah. I think I'm going to say cheerio to you all for now. In my slightly dishevelled state. I hope you're enjoying your garden at the beginning of October. I hope there's still loads and loads for you to harvest. Hope you've got a really good stock of stuff in for the winter. I think probably, I'm not sure because I don't really go to garden centres, but there might be plants available. I don't know, things like brassicas, I'm not sure. But if you find you've got space in the garden and you haven't got anything to put in there, it might be worth popping down to a garden centre to see if they've got some plug plants of brassicas or whatever. Might as well put something in if the bed's going to be empty, eh? And if the bed is going to be empty, put some green manure in, or some compost, or horse muck, or something. Don't leave them bare, and don't put plastic on. Plastic's not going to do anything for anyone, is it? Bring it on. Right. I will say a proper cheerio now. Stay well, everybody. Be happy in what you're doing. Don't kill yourselves doing it. Take some time to chill and just enjoy these last few warm days. I'll see you all again really soon, I hope. Take care.